Hi, welcome to the second module of this course, Formulating Research Questions and Hypotheses. This is me, Mohammad Sajid Yusuf, lecturer, Department of IC, Deputy International University. First, we have to identify the research problems. For this, we have to do literature review. First, we have to do some keyword search. For keyword search, we have to use academic databases and search engine to conduct keyword searches related to the research topic. Pay attention to the recent publications and seminar works in the field. Review of related research. Review relevant articles, books, conference papers, and other scholarly sources to understand the current state of knowledge and identify gaps or inconsistencies in existing research. Citation tracking is most important thing. Examine the references cited in the key articles to identify additional sources and follow citation trails to seminal works and related studies. Then we have to do the thematic analysis. The analysis analyze themes, trends, and pattern across the literature to identify recurring topics, debates, or unanswered questions that could inform the research problem. First, we have to characterize some variables. Variables are characteristics, attributes, or phenomena that can be measured, observed, or manipulated in research studies. Defining variables clearly is essential for formulating research questions and hypotheses. There are different kind of variables. Those are independent variables, dependent variables, moderating variables, and mediating variables. Independent variables that are manipulated or controlled by the researcher and hypothesized to have an effect on other variables. Dependent variables are measured or observed to assess the effect of independent variables. Moderating variables influence the strength or direction of the relationship between independent and dependent variables, and mediating variables explain the mechanism or process through which independent variables affect independent variables. What are the role of variables in shaping research inquiries? There are three different roles. One is variable identification, that variable relevant variables based on the research problem, literature review, and theoretical framework, considering their significance in addressing the research objectives. Optimization, variables optimization by specifying how they will be measured, observed, or manipulated in the research study, ensuring clarity and consistency in their definition and measurement. Variable interrelationships consider the interrelationship between variables and their potential impact on research inquiries, exploring how changes in one variable may affect other variables and shaping the formulation of research questions and hypotheses. Let's give an example. Suppose a researcher is interested in investigating the relationship between social media uses and academic performance among college students. Techniques for identify research gaps may include conducting a literature review to explore existing studies on the topic, identifying gaps or inconsistencies in the literature, and consulting with stakeholders such as educators and students to understand their perspective and experiences. Defining variables in the study would involve operationalizing the independent variables such as social media uses and dependent variables such as academic performance in measurable terms, specifying how they will be measured. In example, frequency of social media use, GPS scores, etc., and considering potential moderating variables Example, study habits, time management skills, and etc. That may influence the relationship between social media usage and academic performance. This process helps clarify the research focus, refine research questions, and guide the design and implementation of the study. Hypothesis is a term that is most important before starting a research. A hypothesis is a testable statement or proposition that predict the relationship between two or more variables in a research study. Hypotheses serve as tentative explanations or predictions that can be empirically tested, and they are supported or refuted through data analysis. There are different types of hypotheses: null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis, directional hypothesis, non-directional hypothesis, and composite hypothesis. So, what are the importance of defining research objectives? Research objectives are specific, measurable goals or outcomes that articulate what the researcher intends to achieve through the study. Research objectives guide the research process, providing a clear focus and direction for the investigation. There are three different objectives: specificity, measurability, and relevance. Specificity in research objectives should be clear, precise, and focused on addressing specific research questions or aims. Measurability means objective should be measurable and achievable, allowing for the collection of empirical data to assess progress and outcomes. In research objectives, relevance should be relevant and to research problem or topic of interest, aligning with the overall purpose and significance of the study. What is the importance of aligning the objectives? So we have some techniques to align the objectives. First, we have to clarify the objectives, clarify, articulate research objectives, specifying the goals, outcomes, and intended contributions of the study. We have some techniques to formulate research questions, like develop research questions that indirectly correspond to the research objectives, addressing the key issues or areas of inquiry identified in the study. Mapping objectives or questions. So we have to ensure that each research objective is addressed by one or more research questions, establishing a clear link between the study's goal and its investigated inquiries. Thank you for this module. See you in the next one.